Hi everybody. I want to spend just a few quick moments talking about effective workshopping. This is a workshopping class, so we need to be in the right frame of mind when approaching this type of project. Now, in the past, we may have been uncomfortable giving constructive criticism when we were doing peer review activities. However, this is not the time or the place to be shy. We're a group of writers and we signed on for a workshopping class. So what that means for us is we all need to be in this for the right reasons. We are here to help improve each other's writing and in the process improve our own. To that end, I want you to keep in mind that no, you're not a teacher and you're not here to grade your peers' papers, but you are a writer and you're here to assess whether or not your fellow writers are doing what they set out to do in terms of writing, which you guys are fully capable and qualified to do as writers. Yeah, we're students of writers, but this is how we learn. So when we approach workshopping, I want you to keep some things in mind from both sides of that perspective. As somebody who's getting their work reviewed, when you're reading your peers' constructive criticism of your work, I want you to keep in mind that it is not a personal attack on you or your writing style. If you feel that it is, always feel free to connect with me. But it should be a constructive criticism of what you can do better. The hard thing there is, and we've discussed it a little bit in the last week, is we writers are a proud lot. We love our work. We strive to get that first draft as perfect as it can be, even though we shouldn't really do that. But it's a work in progress, right? We will learn that our first drafts are always kind of not great. But it's still hard to hear that our first draft is not as great as we would hope it would be. But that is the benefit of workshopping. You're allowed to have an imperfect first draft so that you and your peers in this class or anywhere else, say after you graduate, you have a beta group of readers, you and your peers can help your writing improve. And even if you never do a workshop again or a peer review practice again, by allowing yourself to have a bad first draft and then come back to it and assess it with new eyes, you are really allowing yourself to be a better writer. When we let those ideas sit and look at our work or our peers' work with a constructive eye, we are seeing where we can improve, where we can make those characters breathe more life into the story, where we can make that dialogue that much stronger. So be willing to hear that constructive criticism and apply it where applicable to your writing. With that in mind, you are the creator of this universe. And if you like to occasionally use a cliche in the story that you're using because that is your style and your voice, and one of the common concerns that gets brought up in your workshops is that you use this cliche, if it fits and you want to use it, use it. You are the creator of this world and you know what's best for your characters. So find that balance, be willing to listen to constructive criticism, but you certainly don't have to change your writing if it doesn't reflect your goals. So find that balance, take the constructive criticism, use it as it is helpful, and remember you're the creator of your own story. As a reviewer, we need to remember to approach this with a positive frame of mind. We are in a world with vastly different preferences and vastly different writing. So you might be assessing somebody who, like me, likes to write trashy romance novels. So you don't like trashy romance novels, and all you say in your review is, this is a trashy romance novel, this hero, this character is a total cliche, and your language is very formulaic. Not totally helpful. I mean, it is constructive criticism, but that is the style of writing that I'm doing in my trashy romance novel. And you don't like it, so you're not offering super helpful constructive criticism. So the point of that little example is we need to take a step back from our personal preferences. Get those biases out of there when we are workshopping with our peers. We are looking at the writing and assessing if that author has done what they set out to do. Are they writing good characters? Are they believable? Is there life in those characters? Is the dialogue working well? Is the flow effective and engaging? How's that pacing? That's what we're reviewing, and we want to be sure that we are assessing and offering constructive criticism on that and not judging whether or not we like the story. Okay? And as we're offering constructive criticism, always be sure to provide positive feedback, but also what we call actionable feedback. So make sure that you're telling your fellow peer what they're doing well, but also providing actionable constructive criticism. For example, if you find that the dialogue is flagging, and it's slowing that pace down and it's bogging down the story, say something along the lines of, I feel like right here the dialogue seems a little heavy. Maybe you can reassess that so that it's a little bit sharper. So offer something that is actionable, offer guidelines, offer constructive support. Alright, so I want to take a look real quick at the How to Effectively Workshop guidelines. How do I workshop? 6 steps on how to effectively workshop a peer's story. What we do is we actually want to download this bit of writing, if it's not already in a Word document, into a Word document. Okay? And this is an old story of mine that we've already talked about a little bit. And what we want to do is actually use the inline comments feature that's available in Word. So you find something that you're interested in putting a comment on, you highlight that text, you insert new comment, and then you write your comment there. Okay? And this allows us to see our story right here and see our comments right here. And again, you want to make your comments constructive, positive, but also actionable. For example, my first comment here is, I don't think this reflects the mood. How can you bring Mavis more into the environment? So I'm telling her, your mood is a little off. It's not something that I'm really feeling, and then I offer something actionable. How can you bring Mavis, the character, more into the environment so I can believe her being in this environment a little bit more? And then my second comment is, this is an amazing description. I can clearly see Mavis's frizzy red hair and get a feeling for her mood just from these 3 words. So you see how we offer constructive criticism, but also positive notes on what they're doing well and why they're doing well. Okay, so we want to use the comment feature in there. We don't really want to focus too much on grammar yet. That's going to come as we go through revisions. Right now we're focusing on what makes the story a story. Mark the areas in which the writer identified characters, offer feedback where the dialogue first appears in the story, mark passages where the voices seem to change. Remember, you're offering positive feedback and constructive, actionable feedback as well. We want to mark out the areas that struck the writing. If I could speak, it'd be easier to teach English. We want to mark areas of the writing that stuck out to you in a positive way. Discuss how the author effectively used character, plot, setting, detail, dialogue, voice. Make sure that we go beyond great job or dude, this is awesome, and explain how that writer did a great job and why you like that specific section of work. But don't just offer positive feedback. We want to offer positive support and actionable constructive criticism. So number 3 tells us that we want to mark areas of the story where the writer may want to take a second look. We want to offer constructive criticism. Always try to offer suggestion for how the author can strengthen this area of work. If you think the dialogue feels forced or is lagging, say, I feel like here the dialogue isn't super great. This is what I suggest that might help you clarify the dialogue. So offer criticism and then offer actionable support so that they can improve. Write questions if you have any as you go along. Okay, if you're ever confused about a section of the text, mark it and explain why you're confused. Okay? Besides adding the comments within the text, we also want to offer a brief letter in the discussion board that addresses your feedback. So we're going to leave feedback in the document itself, and then we're going to kind of write a summary of that feedback. And we're going to post that in the discussion board of our workshop area. You're going to discuss the paragraph, but also you're going to upload that document so your author can see your comments as well. Okay? And number 6 is just a reminder to make sure that your feedback and your little summary of your feedback is effective, that you're not being too aggressive, that you're being supportive, and as positive as you're being, you are offering some constructive criticism. Okay? The question here is, how much should you write? For your inline comments that I showed you in my old friend's story, you want to have at least 2 to 3 comments per page, but of course you can write more, and a minimum of one of them need to be positive, because remember, it's a balance. You want positive comments and constructive, actionable criticism to help them improve. For your letter, you want to have at least one fully developed paragraph, 6 to 8 sentences, per section of feedback. So you want one paragraph for positive comments, one paragraph for areas that could be revised and further developed, and then one with any questions that you might have. Of course, we're writers, so more is encouraged. Of course, if you have any questions with this activity for this week or in our coming weeks, let me know. The big thing to remember is this is a positive experience to allow us to improve not only our own writing, but offer criticism and positive support and actionable comments to help our peers become even better at what they do great. If you have any questions, let me know, but you guys got this. It's going to be an amazing experience and an amazing term.